Hello and welcome to Mama Drama Trauma Academy. I'm Tammy Taylor, your teacher and host, whose only qualification is having healed my own and successfully supporting others to do the same.
Mama Drama Trauma Academy is now in session on the topic of
the difference between resisting engagement and loving detachment. Thank you for meeting me here once again and for your subscriptions, female and fellow divine souls. Let's find out what we know about the difference between resisting attachment and loving detachment. I don't know why, don't really know, can't really say, should I, don't really know what's gonna happen today. Tomorrow I will try again. Tomorrow what do I need? Where am I going? Who am I seeing? Know. Is it within me? Hey, Drama Trauma Channel 4, MDT Academy. I don't know what came first, the MDT Academy or the Healing Oracle deck. It seems like one big ball of hot love at this point. Now, if you're looking for what to do, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube Mama Drama Trauma Channel 4, MDT Academy. Let's find out what we know about the difference between resisting attachment and loving detachment. Mama Drama Trauma Channel 4, MDT Academy. That's where these readings are uploaded. Last time we talked about being in right relationship with ourselves, and we did a reading. I outlined each card meaning for one of the spreads that I use the most. There's a spread for every suit, and there's 6 suits in the Mama Drama Trauma Healing Oracle deck, one for each chakra. And so there's actually 7 suits. The law suit is really a suit within a suit. But for the chakras, and we went over one of those spreads of the 7 spreads in the deck that we kind of focus on using because it hits us different ways and different times when we're triggered, right? You know, sometimes it's going to hit us in the gut and we're not going to be able to digest our food because we can't process the painful feelings. It takes a long time to process pain. Unless you have a daily practice, like working with the Mama Drama Trauma Healing Oracle deck to dissolve and resolve those triggers. So be sure you're subscribed and you get a heads up for your burning question for the week. This week, viewers asked Great Mother, what do you want me to know about the difference between resisting attachment and loving detachment? What is it you want me to know, Great Mother, about that? General, overall question for the week. Now, Great Mother says that the reason this question is so important is because what we resist persists. So what we fight against, what we deny, what we have any antagonism about is pushing back up against us with equal veracity. So we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting anywhere. And in many cases, we're digging a deeper ditch. And as empaths, we feel this. So today's topic is important because we're talking about effective energy efficiency. We call efficiency one thing, and Great Mother is letting us know it's another. It's not resisting the attachment. Healthy attachment is knowing your needs are going to be taken care of. And we, because of denial of what is in front of us, which is a mother who is not ready, able, or willing to give us the love that we need, because we deny that, we keep putting on her antagonism. We keep projecting onto her resisting. We keep on trying to get blood out of a turnip, using all of our precious energy to do that. You know we don't have much. Old souls, it takes a lot of effort to be in form because we are mostly energetic. That's why we're so sensitive. Vibrational dynamics is how we interact with the world. And so all of these emotions and these feelings that take up our world have to do with us trying to self-protect, us trying to self-care, us trying to be there for ourselves and not self-abandon, but it's under this illusion that we can heal people without them asking or wanting to be healed, especially and including our mothers. So Great Mother wants us to know that there's a difference between resisting engagement, which is our first go-to. It's like, okay, so I'm going to start putting up boundaries, and energetically I'm just going to ignore, or I'm just going to pretend like I don't feel bad and continue. That is resistance to engagement, or resistance to healthy attachment, because Divine Mother is calling us home to our divinity, which is the loving detachment from form, in order to attach to the healthy maternal love through Holy Spirit, through our intuition that is calling us, that we cannot resist, okay? So that is resistance, Great Mother is saying. Loving detachment is lovingly detaching from maternal expression and form. Yes, Earth Mother is shaking and breaking beneath us. Yes, we are not getting the bounty that we have been accustomed to because there has been a collective conscious and unconscious. Not everybody's conscious of the abuse, but many people are. The exploitation of Earth Mother has now come back. It's Saturnal cycle, which in Vedic astrological terms, chakras, one of the symbols that we use in the deck, the karmic cycle is upon us, and we know it all too well with MDT. It's all about karmic retribution. As old souls, we are in a phase of beginning to respond to Divine Mother's call home. But in that response, there is a requirement to detach from the material world. And in order to do it, just like after you go somewhere and you're having a good time or whatever, you got to pay. You know, you have to pay to get in, so we have to pay our spiritual holographic perspective in form, which is a very one-dimensional perspective of life through our biography in form in a lifetime. But after many, many lifetimes and existing in many, many forms, there's karma, or actions in Sanskrit that we have performed that, you know, it's like time to pay the piper. You know, yeah, well, you paid to get in, but then you also have your table to settle, you know, when you leave the game of life, like into a casino. You know, you got to, you know, divvy up your debts or whatever, what you owe. That's what we're doing. It's not judgment or condemnation. It's just as old souls who have been mothers many times, we are being mothered in a way that is important for us to experience multiple times. I know this is at least my 5th lifetime of it, that now that I've healed. Okay, I've had past life regressions, I've had all kinds of work, and it's confirmed within my soul from many waking dream experiences within this lifetime to the fact that it's karmic. Having been the best mother I knew how to be, that's why I can be compassionate with my mother and all mothers. This is a rites of passage. We all go through this as souls. We all have to learn how to mother and be mothered. We all have to experience being the good mother who sacrifices herself, the terrible mother who sacrifices her child, the great mother who does neither in this lifetime. Finally, I don't sacrifice myself or my child, my godchildren, not through birth, but through being a mother, being maternal, being the mentor, being the initiator, of growth and transformation. As a great mother, we do neither because we unconditionally love ourselves and others. So this process of loving detachment is a soul lens. It is a perspective of life through the soul lens, which is what we're all about here at MDT Academy. Okay? So, do I don't know why all of this back and forth is that process of ego-soul alignment that we're always in because we are in form. Yes, as old souls, we have a lot of attachments. We, like old people, set in our ways and how we do things and how we feel and how we interact with people and whatnot. So, Great Mother wants us to be clear on how we are directing our energy. Is it the path of least resistance as opposed to creating more resistance, or is it loving detachment? Because you are no longer resisting how you feel. You're doing the inner work. You are doing your soul alignment work on a daily basis. Being very clear about the cries and the shame and the blame that the inner child has, and adapting that experience, that triggering event, to divinity identity. Knowing you are being called home by Divine Mother to live our birthright, to be happy, healthy, and whole. How to adapt that trigger, that unhealed wound, to the divine consciousness. So how do we do that? Well, here at the Academy, we use a deck Great Mother downloaded to us specifically as empaths with the mother wound through daily practice of letting go of the mother we want in order to accept the one that we have. It's an ongoing process. Again, like I said, for many lifetimes. So throughout our lives, there is this resistance to accepting the emotional reality that we know through our emotions, thoughts, and movement. We're telepathic. We can pick up thoughts of our mothers and feelings, and the bottom line is that we're unwanted. And this constant dance of denial with that is exhausting, which is why this is about energy efficiency. So we've heard about energy exchange, and now that we know the difference between loving detachment, accepting what is with love, and doing the inner work to live, experience our birthright to be happy, healthy, and whole by working with what's triggering us in the moment and having a tool like the Mama Drama Trauma Healing Oracle deck that's focused on, and whatever reading you get, the message is always good. It's always good. It's always good. It's just a bombardment, just like the logo, with the head and the mother head, is what we have here at the Academy. But when you get the deck, the logo are those hands, and again, it's the perspective. Is it the bombardment of shame, blame, and guilt that the hands are being thrown up in that logo for the deck? Or is the bombardment one of blessings? Just so many blessings from Great Mother Moon, money, the mood, all of these MO words, that we have having to do with the nature, or we're starting with M, mother, community. That ancient symbol of the M means community, those houses together, those two downward V's, houses, roofs together to embrace protection. all of these mother words. Minute represents the moon. The hour hand on the clock represents the sun. So we have this connection with the mother all the time. And with our birth mother, as souls, we arrive here with a very heavy karma. This karma of being an unwanted child affects us with a visceral reaction, again, to resisting this, regardless of the circumstances of being unwanted. The bottom line is we feel, and it is true, that we are unwanted. The mother, or we as mothers, may have wanted to have a child. A child is wanted. But when we show up, we're not wanted. Over a period of time, because we are not aligning with the mother's ideal of who we should be, we're not wanted. So that's really the bottom line here. And what causes this is karma, as I've just described. And more specifically, in relationship to younger souls who have the mother wound, who do not register this emotion, for us, it's not only registered, but we actually sign up to share our mother's misery. As we absorb her judgment and condemnation that we feel, her thoughts that we perceive as our own, as empaths with no boundary, we feel that we do not deserve her presence, her provision of care, or her protection. Now, you ask, why as old souls would we feel this way? Because we feel judged and condemned for all of the stuff that we have done as mothers throughout lifetimes. This is not conscious. This is on a soul level, which is why the work we do here is about soul consciousness. It's about ego-soul alignment, so that we do become more consciously aware of what is in operation within us. Because as we become more aware of this, we realize that unwanted is not only translated as I am unworthy, or even as I am undeserving, as it is with most people who feel this with the maternal wound of a lack of maternal care and presence and protection. We feel the need to prove our worthiness beyond just being a good child, as again, many people do that who have the mother wound, want to justify their presence. They want to justify their ability to care and protect the mother. This is normal. However, empaths take it a step further because it's absorbed as our feelings. What our mother feels, which is her own unmet maternal need situations. We subscribe to it as a responsibility to also feel miserable with her. And therefore, to alleviate ourselves of pain, it is our 24/7, 365 days a year responsibility to alleviate hers. We are always at her disposal to be her toxic emotional dump. Because that's the only way we have any hope of redeeming ourselves, of being free. Now, what Great Mother wants us to know is that because of this toxic thinking, this stinking thinking, we are unable to adapt to our core belief as old souls, our core belief is in divinity identity. Old souls are not warmongers. Old souls are not antagonistic against life. Old souls have experienced enough lifetimes to know that those things are fleeting and that they get us nowhere. Not because we're so high and mighty, because we're so smart, because really the opposite. You've had to live so many lives to learn that. Okay, so we're not talking about, once again, any self-ingratiation or better than anybody else or any that is so far from our conception that we don't even want